Hello everybody, we're back for part 2 of our Ohlone basket craft. So hopefully we'll end up with something like this. But right now we have something like this. So I actually made this yesterday. I hope it's actually glued together. Is this the one? No, this is the one I just made. This is the one this is the one that's glued together. Okay, so this has been sitting for overnight, so it's pretty dry, but I'm going to leave the tape on. If you really want insurance, you just leave the tape on forever, but you can also take the tape off. But right now we're going to leave the tape on. So as you can see, this is not perfect. It's sticking out funny in places. It's fine, but there is an odd number of popsicle sticks. So what we're going to do is you're going to take a piece of your yarn. Okay, I gave the class 3 different colors, a light kind of blonde color, a dark brown, and like a medium brown, just to sort of look a little bit more like basket like colors, although these kind of look red out of my printer. But I couldn't find any good like red yarn, so we're stuck with brown. Sorry guys. But you can use this same kind of idea to make a rainbow color, whatever kind of yarn you can find. But right now we're going to make basket inspired craft. So let me tip this down again so you can see. Hopefully you guys can tie a knot, a simple knot. If you have problems, ask a friend or the teacher for help. So you're going to go under one of these popsicle sticks. We're going to tie a knot. Okay, a double knot. So 1 and then 2. And then you're going to kind of try to, don't pull the popsicle stick out, but you want to kind of shove the knot behind inside. You can also use, if you want, you can use scissors to trim off the other end. But now what we're going to do is we're going to weave this through our popsicle sticks. So you may want to use an extra popsicle stick when we're just starting off to help with this. But what you're going to do is you're going to go under the next popsicle stick over, okay, and then we're going to go over, and then under the next one, and then over. So it's going to look like that, okay? And so eventually you will get the hang of this to just go kind of faster. If you find that your string is getting stuck like way up here, then you can use an extra popsicle stick to just kind of shove it down a little. Okay, mine is moving pretty easily, so I don't need to do that, but it is a helpful little thing. So now we've gone all the way around, and now we're going over, and now we're going under the one that used to be over, and we're going over the one that used to be under, and that's why it has to be odd. Okay, so we're just going to keep weaving under, over, and eventually you can get pretty fast at this. I've done a reasonable amount of weaving in my life, but it still sometimes takes me a minute to get used to things. So that's what we're going to do. And then when you get to the end of that strip, you need to make a decision. We have a little line of stuff here, a line of different of this color. You can now switch colors and you're going to have a very narrow line, or you can pick the same color to make a thicker band like we see here. So I'm going to pick the same color. And this is exactly what basket makers around the world do. People make baskets all over the world. In almost every culture has some form of basketry, and they do it for all kinds of reasons, for decorative, for useful things, for both. It's a really beautiful art form, baskets. Okay, so I'm going to keep going in and out and in and out and in and out. So we're going to keep weaving. Okay, and it's okay if it takes you a minute to figure it out. Take the time you need. I'm sure Miss Huck will let you work on this later if we run out of time now. All you need to finish it are the pieces of yarn. So I'm going to keep going here. And so they make baskets all over from all kinds of different materials. And so you can even look at the materials around you if you see anything Could you make a basket out of it? Chances are somebody somewhere in the world, if it's grass or branches, all kinds of things, people make baskets out of all kinds of different natural materials. In this case, it's acrylic, which is not natural, but this is acrylic yarn. Anyway, all right, so I have a slightly thicker band here. So now I'm going to change colors. So I'm going to use this darker string, and I'm going to show you how to add your shells, or these little white beads, which are going to look a little bit from a distance like the kinds of shells that the Ohlone people put in their baskets. Some baskets even had feathers that were like woven into them. And so if you ever want to try this with feathers, you could try that at home as well. So I'm going to keep on weaving back and forth. And notice I was lucky and the knot ended up behind this one. But if not, you can always just try and trim it closer to hide it. And if you hear, I managed to have a couple that I couldn't hide at all, so I just cut it closer. But if you're lucky, everything will align perfectly and you can hide your knot. All right, so I'm gonna just do one line all the way around, so that's like 2 circles of this dark color, and then I'm going to show you how to do the beads, or our shells. So it takes 2 full rotations to go all the way around to make 1 line of this color. So there we go. So we only have a little bit left, but I'm going to try and put a bead on this. Now, this is going to look weird because it's like this. It's really hard to get this thick piece of yarn through this little bead. So this is kind of gross. I'm sorry. I'm going to use spit. You don't have to use spit. You could try and push it through with a pencil or a paper clip, but when in doubt, sometimes spit works. Just make sure no one else is touching your basket, your yarn after you. And oh, it still doesn't work. See, you might want to use scissors to try and angle it, but whenever I've done this, I still need to do this. So you can all go, ew, Miss Christine, you're so gross. Sometimes you do, but the thing is, Native people did all sorts of things to make their baskets work. I'm sure some of them used spit. They also used tools to poke holes in things called owls or awls. Not owls like hoo hoo. There we go. It finally went through. Yay. So I'm going to put several beads in. If you want to go all the way around your basket, you're going to need however many popsicle sticks that you used. Sorry about the weird noise in the back. So I'm going to put in like a few, but I'm sure you don't want to see me like doing. You might actually just be able to use water, but I don't have any water right now. So however you can get these beads on works. All right, so I have a few, and you could do as many or as few as you want. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have that in, when I'm going in the front, I'm going to push that in the front, and then I'm going to weave behind and not have a bead. And then I'm going to slide a bead to the front, and then I'm going to weave that through, and that will hold the bead in place. And I'm just going to keep going. And you can keep weaving back and forth, and sometimes the count won't work, and that's okay. Okay, it does not have to be perfect. Mine is all weird in some places. Okay. But you can just keep on going with this and adding different colors. You guys, I think, have 3 colors. I only have 2 here. Okay, and you can add beads in any pattern you want. So after we push it down a little bit, that's what it looks like so far. And you can keep on going with this. So I'm going to add another line of brown. Okay. and you just keep working your way up, 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 as high as you want to go. I wouldn't recommend going all the way to the tippy top because it might all like come off. But I'm tying another piece on, and oh my gosh, I'm so lucky with this one. The knot went behind again, yay. So I'm just gonna keep working this up. And I'm not gonna sit here for the whole thing because that will take forever. But it takes a little while to make this, so it may take a couple of sessions for you to weave all this together. But even if you only have a little bit, it's still a neat thing to see what it's like to weave at least part of a basket. Okay, so this is what we got so far. Excuse me. Okay, so this is what we have so far. So now I'm going to show you what to do when you're done. So this is a basket I finished yesterday. Okay, and then what you want to do when you're on the top is make one last like loop all the way around. Okay, you may have to go a couple times, and then you're gonna basically loop it through once and loop it through. I don't know if we have enough space to loop it through again, but we can try. So you're basically just tying a knot at the top. So I'm looping it through again just to sort of tie it off, and then you can use scissors to take off the extra. And you can see I have a bunch of little extra bits in there, and you can trim those if you want. You do not have to. You can also do things with this, like you can use a crayon to cut eventually, once this is really dry, especially when you have all the string holding it together, you can actually color the sticks, maybe brown or another color. And again, if you want to try this at home, you can do it with all different colors of yarn. Okay, so this is the one we were working on together, and this is the one I did on my own. And I look forward to seeing your creations of making your own Ohlone baskets. Bye!